grade, away football game. There's a chill in the air, mouthpieces and Gatorade. My girlfriend's a cheerleader. I'm infatuated with a girl with a game. Oh God, please make the coach put me in. I know what it feels like to be second string. Well, I know what it feels like to just sit on the bench and watch your friends play and wonder why you're even on the team.
I can still remember walking up to the door of my 8th grade classroom. There she was, Kendra Burnett, in the same seat I found her in before every class. This is my big chance. I wanted to practice my opening line before going in there. There was no reason to make a fool out of myself. After all, being in the 8th grade, you kind of have to keep your status. Otherwise, it'll follow you all the way through high school. I cleared my throat. Well, I was thinking that now that we're in the, we're in the 8th grade, that maybe we could, looking back, I realized that practicing a pickup line, especially when you're getting ready to go in and talk to your 8th grade science teacher, is probably a good sign that your romantic wishes have gone a little too far. The guys are cheering. You did it too. You know, there is no reason to mess up a chance. I mean, after all, she was gorgeous. But I decided to get serious. I really hadn't come there that day to pick up on her. I cleared my throat once again. I wanted to practice that opening line. There was still no reason to make a fool of myself. This time, I was going to check for any unannounced squeaking that could possibly happen during that odd age in 8th grade. Miss Burnett, I kind of had some things on my mind, and I needed to talk. My mind was racing. This was my first time to ask advice from a teacher, not to mention one who I had a major crush on. Now, not only would I be a big nothing, but I would be the only 8th grade nothing to ask advice from an older babe, and I would probably get shot down right there on the spot. I tried to reassure myself, though. I was just positive that she'd be able to help me out. I stumbled through the door and headed straight over to a desk near hers. She greeted me with a, "Hey, Doug Kueker, how was your day?" Smooth moves, Kueker Stowe. Excellent job. The small talk was completely out of the way. Evidently, the practice in the hall had paid off. I suavely made my way over to the seat next to hers and plopped right down in it to have the conversation that I came there for. Oh, hi, Miss Burnett. I kind of had some things on my mind, and, I needed to talk. Well, I haven't really felt like I'm in control of my life lately. Like the other day at, basketball practice, the guys say, they made fun of my athletic talent, or, my lack thereof. And so, anyway, I got mad, and I threw a ball at Alex's head, but it missed, and, it hit the coach. And so I spent the rest of practice running. And, I recently joined cake decorating in 4-H, and but then I dropped out because of this bully. His name is Bo Giffen, and, he told me that he should beat up a sissy for doing something like that. And, even the other day, it's kind of been rough at home since Dad died 2 years ago, and Mom's been kind of lonely, and, even the other day, my mom and my sister, they had an argument, and I tried to stop them. I really tried, Miss Burnett, but I couldn't. It just seems like my life, my family, it seems like it's going down the tubes, and it's all my fault. Miss Burnett, I don't want to be a sissy. I just thought that decorating cakes was an important life skill. But, Miss Burnett, I feel like a great big nothing. Well, Miss Burnett looked into my pained eyes, whatever she might have been thinking at that point in time after hearing about cake decorating, and she said, Doug, do you have any control over how your basketball team acts towards you? I thought about it. The only answer I could come up with was no. She said, now, do you control Bo Giffen or what he says about you? The only answer I could still think of was no. She said, now, do you have any control over your family, your dad's passing, or your mom? She knew the answers, though. I just supplied them. No, no, and no. But she went on. Do you control your actions, Doug Kueker? There was no other answer but yes. She went on to share with me one of the most valuable pieces of advice I've ever heard. She pulled out a sheet of paper and she put a circle in the middle of that piece of paper. She put a dot in the middle of that circle. She labeled the circle around that dot, your circle of control. She drew an even bigger circle around the outside edges of that paper. She labeled that circle the world. She pointed to the circle labeled the world and she said, this, Doug, is the world you live in. It includes every person you know, every situation you encounter, everything that happens to you each day. Now, she pointed to the circle labeled your circle of control and explained, this is your circle of control. It includes everything you have complete power over. Sometimes life throws you curveballs, Doug. And if you spend your time reacting to the world around you, you can end up feeling like a big nothing. Haven't we all felt like a big nothing before? It's that feeling that we don't know our place in this world. It can happen to us during those awkward years in junior high or when we're 21 years old. That's why there's power, FFA members, in knowing what you have control over in your life. There is a choice to be made this next year. You can choose to be the one who spends your time reacting to the world around you, or you can choose to be the one who lives your life within your circle of control. Today, I bring with me some lessons by this 8th grade nothing that just might help you make a decision to live your life within your circle of control. You not only have to recognize the limits of that circle, you should also find your box of confidence and then put on some running shoes and move. But remember this, it all starts from the inside of those circles out. Now, what is this box of confidence? Well, it's that storehouse of confidence that we all have tucked away within each of us. Now, once you find it, you have the key to standing strong within your circle of control. Now, another teacher in the 8th grade pointed out to me that the box of confidence we have is full of the standards by which we measure our ability. Come back to that time with me and see for yourself. Now, before we go into this next classroom, imagine the complete anxiety of walking into an 8th grade math class. Now, for me, math class was a house of pain, and there was the pain controller, Miss Ferguson herself. She always sat at the back of the room. For me, math was a place with sweaty palms, shaky knees, butterflies in the stomach. It was horrible. I think you guys get the picture. It's time to go in. I remember walking into class that day and looking to the back of the room and seeing Mrs. Ferguson at her desk. I started to make my way towards my desk, but she began class before I could get there. Okay, class, she squawked. I could tell by the tone in that voice exactly what was coming up next. Let's review what we did on Friday. A review. Now, you know, that meant one of two things when you walked into math class. That meant you were going to either have a pencil and paper quiz, or worse yet, in my case, board races. I needed to make a quick plan to get to my desk and sit down before she could call out any names. The room was in complete slow motion. Her pointed voice continued to boom as I made my way towards my desk. Jake, Michelle, Tara, Doug, I'd been taken down in the line of duty. I didn't make it there fast enough. Since you're already up, why don't you go to the board? I needed to come up with a self-rescue plan. Maybe my leg would give out. Maybe a flood would come. Or better yet, what if I mysteriously had to go to the bathroom?